Okay, this is the second video. I'm assuming that the stencils are all cut out and ready to go. You can see this one is all been cut. This is for laying it out on the slate itself. So the first thing I do is I want to measure the distance between my rows of lettering. In this case, there's 1 inch between. You can see that. So if I cut below, I need to leave a ½ inch on each side, top and bottom, so that when I line them up, it's very easy for me to close up the issues between these, so I get my exact distance of 1 inch between them. If you look at the ones that are longer than, in this case, the Strongest Soldiers is longer than 11 inches, which is my printer limit. What I did was I cut it at the ½ inch mark, and then I lined up the underbar that I placed on it, and then taped them together with the correct separation. I also placed reference lines at the ends of the letters because I'll be measuring off of the slate. And I placed my my Enzo 2015 on the bottom of this one. So as you build it onto the slate, give yourself some reference lines for distancing. And I have the top of the mountain for my center point, and I can square it up. So just using an edge cutter, again, cut the ½ inch marks, in this case ½ inch, and square up all your stencil parts. And then when you move to the slate, it's simply just using the ruler the same way I would. So this is a 14-inch slate, so if I come in 7 inches, that's the exact center of my slate. I can mark that on my slate with a pencil or a permanent marker. Don't use a broad permanent marker if you're just marking reference points. They're a little bit hard to clean off. I tend to use a pencil instead. So you'll see me either using an ink pen in some cases or a marking pencil if it's dark enough to see. So I find my center point and I start lining up my pieces. And I do measure from the sides to make sure my slate is square. So as long as I'm coming down from square position, so you can see these are both 3½ to each side. I also mark a center point on my paper so I can just line those pieces up. It becomes very easy to line them up. As I add the new ones, I do want to verify that my distance between my letters is correct. So you can see it's 1 inch. This one was not cut, so that's my reference one. And you can see I have 1 inch here. This one doesn't matter as much. I want it to be at the bottom of the slate. I want to make sure that if I have border on my slate, you can see these edges are broken off. I want to make sure I don't get into that with either the top of the mountain or the bottom lettering. So I'll pull this down slightly and then re-verify my centering. So as you see, I'm still 3½ there. Just to come over just a hair. And once I have it all positioned correctly, I then use just Scotch tape to hold it into place. The openings are already set for me, so I Scotch tape everything together into the slate. And you need enough tape so that you know it's not going to move on you. Okay, so once it's fixed in position, I verify it one more time. I want to make sure my center points are correct. I want to make sure my references all the way down it are correct. That'll make sure it's square. And take a quick look to make sure your bottom edges and your top edges are square. And it's ready for marking. I use a permanent marker. So just a permanent marker, and just follow the letters and all the lines. Once it's completed, I could then use the straight edge to complete any of the lines that I've left off on the slate itself. And that's how you complete the stenciling.